Good morning, everyone. I am here reporting live from TIFF 2024, and I got a good review for you today. To start it off, I got Brady Corbet The Brutalist. So last year, one of the most memorable experiences that I saw at TIFF was the Zone of Interest, and this year we have another Holocaust-themed film, and I can already say that I think this will be one of the most memorable films that I'm going to see here at TIFF. The Brutalist, which I should mention, by the way, is not really a Holocaust movie. In fact, the story refreshingly starts right after those events, but still the horrific experience still looms in the background. The rest of this 215-minute long fictional epic story follows Laszlo Toth, a Jewish Hungarian architect who flees Europe at the end of World War II to rebuild his life in America. So it spans like 30 years. It follows Laszlo as he attempts to live out the American dream in a sense. Last year, The Zone of Interest took a lot of creative risk in telling that story, and this year, director Brady Corbet also takes some massive swings. Originally out of Venice, the reaction to The Brutalist were like very strong. Like, I started hearing comparisons to The Godfather and young Orson Welles, these very hyperbolic type of compliments, and it made me want to be like, all right, let's slow it down a little bit with that talk. However, after watching it, in terms of like sheer determination to bring such a sprawling story shot on film, running over 3.5 hours with an intermission, covering 30 years of life, it takes a person with that kind of Orson Welles level of ambition, which Corbett clearly has. In his latest, Corbett explores a similar theme actually to Citizen Kane, surrounding kind of American ambition, but also about the immigrant experience in post-war America. Laszlo is played by Adrien Brody, and he's this character that we are living with throughout this journey. We are seeing this world through his eyes, and Brody has never been better. Like, he is truly extraordinary in this role. Brody fully disappears in character as Laszlo, an architect haunted by his recent trauma, but learning how to be human again, as well as like how to be an artist again. Right off the bat, Corbett opens the film with a dynamite opening. Love the opening. I was immediately drawn into the story. It's the start of a journey for our character, and it's the start of the journey for us. The story then continues, kind of showing Laszlo working with his cousin, making custom furniture, a job he's clearly overqualified for, but he then has a chance encounter with Guy Pearce's character named Harrison, who plays like this American tycoon that echoes kind of Citizen Kane or Daniel Plainview. He's a very complex character. He's not always bad on the surface, but he always leads by his ambition. And Guy Pearce is really great in the role. When we first meet him, he's a complete a-hole one moment, and then the next, he's like supportive and kind. It's a roller coaster with this character throughout, where we like him and we don't like him, and then we like him and we don't. And Felicity Jones actually pops up in the second half of the film and really surprised me. I hadn't heard too much coming out of Venice about her, and I thought she was right up there with Guy Pearce. I don't want to give too much of the story away, but the story in the film kind of unfolds slowly like a novel. And we get to see this central character kind of shape over this 30-year period. Like life, there are moments of heartbreak or anguish. There's times that are filled with pure joy or optimism. But by the end, you feel like you've lived this life with him. The cinematography of The Brutalist, let's talk about it. I mean, absolutely astonishing. Last year, The Holdovers was shot on film, and it gave that film a certain age kind of quality that you just can't mimic, like shooting on digital. Cinematographer Lowell Crawley, he shot on 35mm. The entire film is just absolutely stunning to look at. And shooting specifically on film just really gave The Brutalist that kind of texture and that age quality that made the film feel like timeless. It made it feel like a relic that you just found, and discovered. Like, the costumes and the production design also kind of gave and lended that film its kind of authentic, timeless, aged quality. The character of Laszlo is an architect who's like very meticulous about every single detail. And in a way, the cinematographer married with the detailed production design, they're just as meticulous as Laszlo is. The music is also a true standout here. Like, sometimes it's a thumping anthem, like kind of like how the way like Beasts of the Southern Wild, like how that music would stir you. Other times it's kind of a poetic, like almost jazz-like score that I would say is similar to like If Beale Streets Can Talk. The music really actually made this film feel like not one long numbing experience, but rather a journey with variations where the music fits how each character is feeling in those given moments. From a craft perspective, truly, like The Brutalist is freaking astonishing. It's just really good. The story itself, to be honest, I'm actually still wrestling with. I mean, I never got lost in the narrative by any means. I always felt engaged. Story-wise, it's not like a puzzler by any means, but Corbett gives you a lot to mull over in terms of finding kind of deeper meanings behind each scene. And then near towards the end of the film, there's a moment where a key character does something that genuinely like surprised me. And then the film kind of quickly ends after. And I had the sense that I wanted kind of more from the ending. Like I wanted this journey to amount to something more. And it's odd to say that about a movie that's like 3.5 hours. Usually in a 3.5 hour movie, you just want the movie to end. I think it's a film that, I know it's really annoying to say this, but it requires additional viewing for maybe that ending to fully resonate, at least for me. All in all, it only requires one screening, though, to recognize the sheer brilliance of the craft that went into making this film. I feel like the movie does say a lot, especially as it pertains to, the exploitation of talent from immigrants seeking refuge that's kind of cloaked in this like facade of charity or goodwill. The Brutalist also kind of explores what it means to be an artist. Like people often find their identity and their self-worth in their job. So what happens to an artist when their ability to create art is stripped away from them? Calling The Brutalist a classic almost feels wrong because I feel like a classic is earned by just standing the test of time. The Brutalist definitely has the makings of a film that will become richer and better with each viewing. It's long, but very rewarding, and anchored by an incredible Adrien Brody, which I think is my favorite performance of the year that I've seen so far. I give The Brutalist a very, very solid 9 out of 10. Also, can I mention that I loved the intermission? I loved it. I thought it was at the perfect place. And I think we should make it a law that any movie over like 2.5 hours should have an intermission. Because honestly, my bladder can't do it anymore. I can't last. So in terms of Oscars, we can expect The Brutalist to be a very strong contender in Best Picture, assuming it comes out this year. Currently, I would say it's like a top 5 contender because it is such an audacious and undeniable vision, but it's definitely not like a broad appeal type of film. It aligns with a more like artier side of the Academy. The Zone of Interest racked up like 5 nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director. The Brutalist, I think, will actually do even better because it has that acting nomination potential. All right, breaking news. Actually, it was announced that The Brutalist did not win the Golden Lion, which I find very interesting because it was expected to be kind of a near shoo-in. So maybe that's hinting towards something, I don't know. My initial reaction, fresh off watching it, was, yeah, The Brutalist is not going to win Best Picture. I feel like Best Picture as of always, Best Picture has always kind of needed that broad appeal. At the end of the day, this is a 215-minute long movie. I don't project this film is going to be for everyone, but I am going to guess that this film will drive passion from a certain type of group of the Academy. I mean, The Zone of Interest did surprise and score last year, and so did The Boy and the Heron. So honestly, I should really say never. But in what I think is probably more likely, I kind of see The Brutalist as being more like The Pianist. So in order, I would say Best Picture, because there's 10 slots, Best Director, Best Actor for Adrien Brody, I think with him being a real threat to win, Best Supporting Actor for Guy Pearce, Best Cinematography. Those I would feel the most confident on, like those 5. Then you can possibly get score, maybe production design, then costume, and Felicity Jones as a possible Best Supporting Actress nomination, and possibly screenplay. So that would be 10 right there. So somewhere between 6 to upward to 10 on its best day. So that's where I'm at today. Those are my thoughts on The Brutalist, but let me know when you see The Brutalist. Is this a film that you enjoy? Is it an Oscar contender? I gotta go though, because I gotta go see Night Bitch right now. So feel free to hit the subscribe button for more TIFF reviews. Follow me on Twitter if you want for immediate reactions to these films, or you can follow me at Letterboxd, links in the bio. Thanks always for watching, and until next time, I will see you at TIFF.